How are you approaching the last 5 weeks to a month of the regular season? What are the goals? What are you stressing?
We're not approaching it any differently than we did from August 23rd. It's about daily improvement. Obviously, the results haven't been very good, so we want to start to make some strides in getting better results. But that comes back to the daily process and then the process within games. We're not going to change stressing making plays at big times in games, which we've been poor at, whether it be around the other team's net or in particular in our own zone around our net. So that's not going to change. There's going to be no change to our daily approach in practice, not even for a little bit. So I don't think we have no like set in stone. We want to win 6 games or 4 games, or this is about now tomorrow. We focused on today, and we'll focus on tomorrow, and then Friday will be Lake Superior, but we won't worry about that till we get there. And what comes after that will be the focus that next day. So really, we're not changing the focus in terms of internally with the team.
After a difficult start to the second half, what were your goals and what was your main focus for this bye week?
Reflection. Heal up any bumps and bruises you may have. I think right now we are continuing to be in a very important time in this program's history, and from our internal 25 guys continuing to stress, are you willing to be part of the solution or not? That's not going to change. That's something I wanted them to think about. The first night in Miami was completely ridiculous. Our effort to give up 2 shorthanded goals was absolutely unacceptable, and it was based on nothing more than effort. Miami, their effort was good, and I'll give them credit for that, but to give up, shorthanded opportunities like we did, Miami being shorthanded, was nothing more than effort and focus. And Saturday was better. So I wanted the boys to reflect on what they're doing to make this better and take ownership in that. And then we worked on special teams a lot, which is no different than in October. We worked on our conditioning somewhat, but our conditioning is fine. We continue to stress the mental focus. I mean, it was no different than any other week. We wanted to give them ample rest. We went to the weight room 1, maybe 2 more times than we normally would. So the stress was really to look in the mirror and reflect on what you're doing to make it better.
Rich, when you talk to the players, is it usually in a group, or do you occasionally bring one player in and go one-on-one with them?
It's been a lot of both. It's been a lot of one-on-one. Some individuals more than others, but everybody has had at least 3 one-on-one meetings with the coaching staff, at least. And meetings with the team have been way too many, as far as I'm concerned. But necessary. And not about our forecheck, and not about X's and O's. About lessons and learning lessons of being an athlete at this level and being an athlete within this program and what that means. And if it doesn't mean enough to you, I understand. But you have to be real with yourself and move on. Because if you're not as upset and disappointed and frustrated as we are, as staff and as some of the guys in the room, then we're wasting each other's time. So that's the message all the time. And I'm not saying there are guys that are or aren't upset or frustrated. What I'm trying to get at is, if you are, then do something about it. And if there's somebody that's not, let's get them out of the way and let's move forward.
Is Ryan Viselli good for the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's 100%, but I do think he's going to be available. Whether he's in the lineup or not, we'll find out. It's just been, he's been sore. He's given everything he has, like he always does, but he's just been sore. He's been involved in every practice. It hasn't been that. It's just been, a little bit of a nagging thing.
Anybody else injury-wise?
Grover's fighting the hand injury, but other than that, I think we're pretty healthy.
What do you expect from Lake Superior?
in listening to their coaches talk before, I expect them to come harder at us than maybe they did up there. I don't know if they took us lightly, but they seem to be impressed with where we were at that time. You know, anyone that was at those games, I mean, we had the best of play for 5 of the 6 periods. I would say anybody, you know, that an unbiased opinion would say that. So I don't think we're going to sneak up on them. You know, I think they know that they're in for 2 hard games this weekend, and they are. They are. And our guys know that too. I expect, you know, Lake Superior is they're big, I think, especially up front, and they've got a good young goaltender. And we put a bunch of pucks on him, and we scored 1 goal Friday and 1 goal Saturday, which that sounds pretty familiar, I know. But I expect it to be 2 hard-fought games, like pretty much every one of our games has been this year. You know, and a weekend that we're looking to have some success. Whatever that means, if that means it results, I guess, you know, that's what it means. But we want to, you know, establish ourselves and our game plan right away on Friday night, which is get pucks deep and go to work.
What are you looking to change, if anything, from the last time we played Lake to this weekend?
Score more. We're looking to score more goals. 1 goal every game is just not good enough. So I think the more pucks and the more people you put to the opposing team's net, the better chance is you're going to score. So I want to do that more. Obviously, this goaltender is good for a young guy. But other than that, I pretty much stay the same. I mean, both nights we gave up a goal that was, you know, a turnover Friday and just one of those plays Saturday. Didn't get a shot block, and that's, I mean, that's pretty. that's a fine line for sure. So don't want to change a whole lot based on that weekend. Other than I think we need to obviously score more goals, which means execute better around their net.
I guess without sounding too much like the first question, do you consider this kind of a must-win weekend in order to kind of get back on track to pick up points in the conference?
No. I consider this like any other game. If you say, or if we say we must win every game, or we consider this weekend important, just like the last weekend, the weekend before, and the weekend before. We always want to gain confidence. I've been saying this for a long time. We deserve better than what we've gotten in terms of results, in terms of our effort on a daily basis. These guys deserve better, but they haven't gotten better. So they're going to have to go and earn better. And we're going to look at Friday night's game just we looked at the last game we played, which was Saturday night at Miami. We want to win that game, and there's a process to winning games as far as we're concerned. And we've got to get to that process, which is our game plan, which is paying attention to every little detail that's important to us. No more, no less important than any other game.
What do you like about Rick Schofield's game?
I like everything. I like his size. I like his, obviously he's a leader. He's got a knack of scoring goals at the right time. He got the tying goal against us on the Friday night, I believe, and I think he scored both goals this past weekend in the last minute of the game, being down a goal. I like a lot about his game. I think he's really developed from freshman year to this year. And going back to, I saw him playing junior back in Pickering, Ontario, and the player he is now, he has a chance to play pro hockey. And, you know, I've talked to other coaches around the league. I saw what I saw when we were up there. He's a really good player. He's a power forward, and he's a handful for anybody. I like a lot about his game. From an opposing coach side, I don't know what his work ethic's like every day. I'm assuming it's pretty good as the captain. But I like a lot of things about his game.
You feel he's one of the more underrated guys in the league?
I've always kind of felt that way. You know, I don't know why that is. He doesn't get a whole lot of hype. Maybe his numbers aren't great. I don't know, but you know, you know about Mealy and Camper and Caparuso, but you just don't hear about Schofield much. And he's a guy, if you don't pay attention to, he will hurt you. And he can run you over. He can do a lot of things that other guys can't. He may not put up 1,000 points, but he does a lot of things well as far as I'm concerned. I do think he's a little bit underrated.
Anything else, guys? All right, cool. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.